financial Blogmas. This one is from the office. We're in the studio, but behind us, well, I guess in front of us, is the wall with the mountain finance and all the hexagons. This is the other wall. This is where the computer setup is. If I move over here, you can see, let me just take a look here. You can see you got a couple of computers over there, all that fun stuff. So that is, yeah, that's the background. So today we got a topic today. We are going to be talking about, I'm just going to make sure, there we go. We'll come in right about here, I think is good. Let's stop everything from moving. Don't want people to get seasick. Don't need people to get seasick. We're going to talk about side hustles. So, side hustles, what are they? First of all, and you guys all know this. I'm pretty sure you all know this. But the side hustle is something you can do in addition to whatever your normal source of income is. And it's a method to, to increase what you make. Increase what you make. Get some more income streams in. They do say that the typical millionaire has about 7 streams of income. So most of you, I'm thinking, probably have maybe 2. You could argue 3. Obviously, whatever your job is, your dividend stream, and if you're also playing the market or, doing some selling and buying and you got those capital gains, that could technically be a third. That could technically be a third. So we're going to talk about all kinds of different ones. I have 15. I have 15 different side hustles that we'll briefly go through here today. And at the same time, you guys are more than welcome to ask questions, all of that fun stuff. Also, keep in mind, this is the first of 2 live streams today. We have a market close this afternoon at 3:45 Eastern time. So 15 minutes before the market closes, we'll be back again. All right, let's get this rolling. Before we do, just want to quickly say hello, Enid. I see that you really need a side hustle. All right, well, there's a lot of different ones. The first one I want to start with is freelancing. So we all have skills, and it's hard to say what your skill is. Maybe you're artistic. Maybe you're good at making logos. Maybe you're good at designing images, working with text. Maybe you're good at writing copy, things like that. There are a lot of freelance type opportunities out there. There's 2 sites in particular. You guys have probably heard of Fiverr. There's also another one called Upworks as well. So people will go there when they're looking for, let's say, for example, you want a logo. People will go there. And normally when you first start on something like Fiverr, you won't get a lot of money. You're not going to be able to charge a lot for your work. But as you do some work, you start getting reviews and all of that, you can start charging more. So some people do make a really good living off of Fiverr, Upworks, things like that. It's an interesting side hustle. Just be prepared that it is a side hustle initially. Maybe it can grow into something bigger, depending on how it all works out. There's a lot of videos. I've actually seen a lot of videos of people who have gone in and said, let's see what we can make in a month. They didn't make much. Most of them did not make much in that first month. So it is a learning curve. It is a get experience curve, get rated curve. Then you can actually charge more. Initially, you're not going to charge much. I think the name Fiverr, for example, I think initially the idea was that you'd do it for $5. But here's the thing. If you're really good at logo design and you can probably print a lot out in, for $5, and maybe you could even have AI help you. AI is getting really good, but you need to be really good with AI with the prompts to be able to get the images or the logo design that you're trying to accomplish. So that's just something to keep in mind. That's just the first thing. Freelancing, it may not be for you, or maybe it's something right up your alley. You got skills. Why not charge for them? Why not make a little bit of cash? Another one. So number 2, we'll move to number 2, e-commerce. So basically, there's, you could sell stuff. Shopify, eBay. It can be pretty much anything. This actually does tie into one of the ones ahead, but e-commerce is a way that you can sort of definitely start moving product, moving things that you're making, or maybe moving things that you have, older things that you're trying to get rid of or unload. Um, it's not a bad thing. I'm not going to spend much time on two because, as I said, I think two kind of becomes a background for a few of the others on the list. So let's just move right to three: content creation. So what is that? Well, that's what I'm doing right now. YouTube. I create content. You guys consume it, which is great because if I was creating content, nobody was consuming it. It would be a pretty big waste of my time. But everything from YouTube, TikTok. I think you even can get paid over on X as well if that's where you want to make your content. But it's once again, it's not something that you're going to get a lot of money out of fast. Quite literally, probably your first year on something like YouTube, you're probably not going to make a single penny. Probably. Now, there are the exceptions. There are people who do get onto YouTube and they just explode immediately. But for most of us, it's the slow and steady race as we move up there. And now I've been doing it for 3 years, and I'm still in the red. I'm still in the red. It's this has been a good year, and that we're building a little bit faster, and I can see a future where I'm gonna break even, and I'm looking forward to that. Absolutely. But yeah, it is a long haul. But that's why it makes a perfect side hustle, right? Because if you're not relying on that money to support yourself, then it's a nice little addition. So, let's say you've been doing YouTube for a couple of years and you're making, let's say maybe you're making $300 a month. That's in addition to what you're already making. So yeah, absolutely. Content creation, number three, I think it's a pretty good side hustle for sure. Number four, once again, this goes back to if you're really good at a topic, you can get into tutoring. I actually used to do that. I used to do a lot of chemistry tutoring when I was still in high school, actually, because I was good at chemistry, and amazingly enough, a lot of students weren't. And sometimes, when it comes to tests, exams, things like that, people are willing to pay. A lot of parents are willing to pay for tutors, so that might be something that could be of interest. All right. Let's move to number five. Now, number five does tie back into number two with the whole e-commerce through Shopify, and that's drop shipping. So what exactly is drop shipping? So sometimes what you can do is you can basically find or source products really, really cheap. Usually they're coming from China. I'm not going to lie about that. Absolutely. You're usually finding some product that you think you can flip for a higher price, and you're buying your inventory from China. So maybe you're paying $1 for some product in China that you can then put up on eBay, or maybe you could create a storefront on Amazon, and then maybe you're selling it for $5. So every single one you sell, you're making a $4 profit. Now, the difficulty of this one, of course, is finding that product. One example that I did see on YouTube is it was kind of like it was like a glowing globe type thing that they had sourced through one of the Chinese stores. I don't know if it was Wish or whatever it was. And basically, they ended up ordering a ton of these things for I think they were going for roughly $5 a piece, and then they were selling them for $24. And right around the holidays, people were buying them up like crazy. So it was some kind of a globe that had a light or something. I can't remember the exact product. It's been a while since I was exposed to that. But there is money there. I think the biggest issue is finding that one product that you can flip, make a good profit, and that there's a big demand for. And you also have to realize too that the way of retail is that maybe that glowing globe is big this year, but next year it may not. So you have to also have that versatility to be looking for additional products that you can bring over. Oh, I do see Vic in the house with a hi. Hi there, Vic. How you doing? All right. So Oh, and we got Mary in the house. That means, guys, let's hit that like button. There's 10 of you in here right now, so we should have 10 likes. We got 7, but we should have 10. All right. Oh, and of course for this one, I'm just gonna have some of my bubbly. This is the Christmas flavored bubbly of all things, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so we just did drop shipping. Number 6, and this is kind of an interesting one. This one here, I think, works better if you live in a big city, and that is pet sitting as well as pet walking. As well as pet walking. So there are a lot of people in the cities that they don't have time to walk their dogs. They're busy. They'll pay you to do it. Dog walking is a very profitable side hustle, and also pet sitting. If you've owned a pet, how many times have you not been able to go someplace because you couldn't take your dog? And it would have been nice to have a place to sit, have somebody sit with them, especially considering if you're looking at a kennel. Kennels are going to charge you an arm and a leg, but not so much when it comes to not so much when it comes to a pet sitter. You can undercut the kennels. You can make a lot of money. Now, mind you, you don't want to do this if you don't like animals or if you're allergic to them. That would probably be not a great side hustle, but nonetheless, it definitely is one that could be a lot of fun, a lot of way to make some side money. Let's see. Adidas says bubbly tastes like water. Well, it is water. So yes, it's flavored water. So it does taste like water for sure. Now this one here, the Christmas flavored one, it's got a whole bunch of berry flavors in it. I could not tell you exactly which. Like I think there's a little bit of cherry. I think there's a little bit of blackberry. But it has a nice little berry flavor mix to it. Now, mind you, if you're coming to bubbly from like soda or pop, you're probably going to be like, oh yeah, that doesn't taste that great. But compare it to normal tap water, it's fantastic. It's absolutely great. I do like it, and of course it is carbonated, and I love that carbonation. Let's see here. Glenna says, what does Christmassy taste like? It sort of reminds me of just if you've ever seen, and this is just me. This is just me. If you ever seen like a Christmas display, you got like your holly and your berries and things like that. It kind of just reminds me of that. But it is it is a limited Christmas flavor. It comes out every year around Christmas, and I'm gonna see here. It's called Mary Berry Bubbly. Um, let's see. Yeah, all it says on the back is natural flavor. It doesn't really tell me exactly what berry flavors are in there, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I like it. I like it. All right, pet sitting, pet sitting. All right, now this next side hustle is all. It can be low maintenance, well, to a certain extent. We're talking rental income. So if you've got that extra room, and you're not in one of those cities that don't allow B&Bs, that might be an option for you. B&B, renting out your room, your extra space, especially if you're sort of in that empty nest type situation where your kids are gone, you got extra rooms. You could certainly make some income off of them. Obviously, you probably don't want to do that if you really don't like strangers. But a lot of times people are just coming to town for like a little short time and they're looking for a room. And you can certainly make some half decent money. There is also there's a thing called Turo. This is and I don't know a lot about it, but via Turo you can actually rent your car as well if that's something you want to do. Maybe you have an extra car. You might be able to rent that, make a little bit of money. So there's lots of way to sort of get that flash. I was gonna say that flash flow, that cash flow, the cash flow moving. Tons of stuff out there. All right. Another thing you can do is if you want to stick around your house and you want to make a little bit of money doing office type stuff, you could become a virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is really cool. It's like sometimes you'll have small businesses where they don't really need a full-time assistant, but sometimes they just need someone every so often to write letters, write emails, things like that. Maybe you're doing some stuff with Excel. So that is another option out there as well. And there, and interestingly enough, the virtual assistant, I think you can even do that through Fiverr as well. But some people will, if they really like your work, they might just hire you on as a virtual assistant, and you may get a nice steady flow of writing letters and things like that. It's not a bad gig. It's definitely not a bad gig. All right, virtual assistant. All right, the next big one, print on demand. So print on demand, this includes things like Redbubble. What is the other one? Printly. There's a whole bunch of Printful. There's a whole bunch of different ones out there. I have used Redbubble in the past. So what you do with that is you basically will design your own little t-shirt design, and you can put it in, you submit it through Redbubble. They'll put it on t-shirts, all the different sizes. You can put it on mugs, bags, shower curtains, bath mats, stickers, all of that. And people, if they like your design and they start buying it, you'll get some money. Like, I got a few things over there, and I've had a few sales. I think I had this one. Which one was it? I think I had a shirt that I designed. It was like my favorite color is sunset, with a picture of just the word sunset and the sunsets coming through the sunset type thing. Yeah, somebody in Australia bought it, and I was like, oh wow, cool. There's somebody in Australia wearing my t-shirt design. So you can make a little bit of money from that, and obviously, the more creative you are, the better you can do. You can definitely do well over there. So that's Redbubble, and there's Printful, and there's a whole handful of them. Now I really do have to make some merch for the channel. I've been promising you guys it for a long time. I don't think I'm going to do it with Redbubble. I'm looking at another company, but I need to get on that. I definitely need to get on that. It's not going to happen this month. This month is way too busy. But in the new year, that is high priority. Last year, it was just a moderate priority. This year, it's high priority. It's been too long. It has been too long. Let's see. Adia says, these are great ideas. AA says, how much investment you need in Redbubble? Really not much. Because normally you can upload for free. Now, I know they changed something recently, so I don't know how that works fully. But when I joined, I didn't need anything at all up front. And, I just created my designs, uploaded them, and there was no limits. So another one too, by the way, guys, is Amazon. Now with Amazon, it's a little bit trickier, right? You can't just sort of go right in and start going. You have to actually apply to get onto the Amazon print one. And they don't print to Canada because they don't have a store in Canada, but they print to like the US and things like that. And I've sold a few shirts through that one as well. Amazingly enough, my favorite color is sunset. As probably my most popular seller in the US as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. But yeah, double check AA with Redbubble. I don't think you have to pay anything up front, but I have a feeling that they have a limit to how many uploads you can do initially, until you've gotten a couple of sales, I think. But I could be completely wrong on that. I could be absolutely 100% wrong on it because I haven't really looked at it in about a year. Every so often, I just get a surprise and it's like, oh, here's a little bit of money. And I'm like, okay, great. All right. So that's print on demand. And here's another one. Now, this is one that I think right now it's still viable, but it may not be so much in the future. And that is photography. So photography, so websites like Shutterstock, you've probably run into them when you're looking for images. They will allow you to upload your photography, and then if people who pay for the photos off of their site, if they choose yours, you get a piece of the pie per se. So that's something else. If you're very much into photography, especially, I think what does really well over there is landscapes. Or keep in mind, like if you live in a city, like let's say you live in Calgary and you get some really good photos of Calgary. Obviously, somebody who wants photos of Calgary, who's writing an article or something about Calgary and Toronto, they might hit that site up and look for some specific Calgary type pictures, or Vancouver, or maybe if you're up at Alert. I don't think I've seen one picture of Alert. I seen one picture of alerts. So that's kind of interesting. All right. Now, that there was we were on photography. The next one is flipping items. The flipping items is actually a really interesting one. So my mom used to do this. What she'd do is she'd actually hit up the flea markets, some of the secondhand stores, and she'd find some really nice clothes. And then, and then what she does is she would basically list them on eBay for a lot more money. So definitely something worth doing for sure. She used to make quite a bit. Now, the only downside to that is you do have to hold a lot of inventory. So that's kind of one of those interesting things that you have to keep in mind. You're maintaining your inventory. You also have to deal with all of the shipping and things like that. There are different systems that you can certainly use to do that. All right. Up next, number 12, social media management. All right. So social media management is, once again, it's kind of like the virtual assistant. So what you're looking at is you're going to basically offer your services to somebody to manage their social media accounts. So what you're doing with that is you're basically building engagement for somebody who, let's say, a content creator or somebody or a small business, and you're going to go out onto the web and you're going to sort of drive more business towards them by making social media posts. You can also, and this is kind of cool, you can create packages. You can create packages that will allow you to create all kinds of different posts that you can then sell. So, for example, it might be, let's say if you wanted to sell a bunch of motivational posts, you can do like little posts that could be used, for example, for Instagram or something like that. So that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing at all. So just something to keep in mind that you can definitely do as well. So I'm just trying to think. I know that there was, I think on Fiverr, and this kind of goes back to Fiverr as well. That's another place where you could sell some of these social media things. So, it just depends. Some companies, they do like to sort of post a whole bunch of social media type related things, all of that fun stuff. All right. Ride sharing, number 13. So, what we're looking at with ride sharing is that's your Uber, your Lyft. You can also do delivery as well. So that's another side hustle. A lot of people have been doing that. Um, I think you're mostly looking at tips when it comes to this. So good old fun there with the ride sharing, and a lot of people are definitely doing. Now I don't know what the margin is. I'd love to know exactly how much people are making when it comes to ride sharing. All right, we're gonna move to number 14. Oh my God, we're slowly getting through these. Um, and that's actually we're on a good time. We're on good time. Like at least I've been trying to keep these down to 15 to 20 minutes. So definitely interesting. Okay, so fitness, yoga, things like that. Um, those are things that you can definitely be doing that will, once again, you can set up classes. Now, I do think, though, with this one, you do need to have some certification there. So that's kind of an interesting thing. All right, just give me a second here. All right. Now, yeah, fitness yoga. Oh, hot yoga. I've never, I have never seen, I've actually never done hot yoga. The thought of doing yoga under heat is it's kind of not good. It kind of, I don't think it would be fun. I don't think it would be fun at all, for sure. All right. Just give me one second here. All right, there we go. Just getting rid of a spammer. Okay. So that's hot yoga. That's hot yoga. What can I say? All right, and I think, well, all that spam, I think I might have missed a comment here. Here we go. Adita says, how do you go about SMM? What would you charge? That's a good question. That's a good question. I did do it a little bit, but I was also doing a whole bunch of other stuff on the side as well for a creator before I started creating. Um, Now I was charging a fair amount. I think I was charging uh, about $500 a month, but I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot for them. Um, it really boils down to how much you're doing, and it's kind of one of those things that I think you could sort of negotiate, like sort of if you throw a price at them, they may say, "No, that's a bit too much." You can negotiate your way down a little bit. Maybe they'll throw you back a counter price, and then you can go a little bit higher. But I don't actually know how much you would get paid for that. Just something to keep in mind. All right, let's see here. I would do Zumba. So Adidas says I would do Zumba. That's fun. Oh, I yeah, yeah. I've seen Zumba. I actually seen it. Zumba looks a lot more fun. I would do Zumba before I would do hot yoga, for sure. And AA says I have tried hot yoga and I didn't like it. That's kind of where I'm at too. It's like I don't think I would like hot yoga very much. So yeah, I would agree. I would agree 100% on you there. All right, we got one more. We do have one more. So this all goes back to your expertise. And if you are really good in a subject, why not make an online course? And you can do this through things like Udemy, Teachable. Those are a couple of different ones that you can do. Basically, you just make the course once, you put it up, and if people are paying for it, you got some money that's coming in. So that's not too shabby there. So definitely lots of side hustles out there. And it really boils down to your own imagination. It's like, okay, what can I do? All right. I still got a tickle in my throat. It's kind of fun. It's been so long ago that that flu happened, and yet they're still lingering. It's still lingering. I'm like, it's like go away, go away. Most of the coughing though is gone, which is good. So that's gonna be good. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. Meow Mix says, "You gonna do a course?" Yeah, absolutely. I've been thinking. I've been thinking about the way to look at doing it. I'm almost thinking it's a situation where I might just start like with a couple of sort of just like a couple of lessons, and then we'll put that in, and and then just keep building on those lessons. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of, but it could be an interesting thing. Let's see. Could you list these in the chat box where I will know what these trade under? Um, which ones, Michael? Which ones am I listing? Because yeah, these here are basically we're just looking at some of the side hustles. No, we didn't really discuss any stocks, but let me know. Let me know what you're looking for. I mean, did you want me to drop in the extra information just the 15 side hustles? Because I can do that. I can definitely do that. Just something to think about. All right. Holy banana bread. Well, another one of these going 30 minutes. Whatever happened to the 15 to 20 minutes that we've been trying to do? But oh well, that's cool. We're back here, by the way. We're back here at 3:45. So that's going to be fun. Amrit says, I've been busy and not been able to catch your lives. I know it's not about today's subject, but have you seen the EQB? Just bought and entered in. Yeah, a little bit of a correction for EQ Bank. So they did their earnings. They missed. They did miss. Guys, Tuesday's video coming up is going to be my bank review, and I will touch on EQ Bank, Laurentian Bank, as well as Canadian Western Bank. So we'll hit all of those in that video as well. But that's all coming up really, 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 really soon. As I said, Tuesday. Channel members will see it on Monday. But yeah, I'll be actually going to be scripting that tomorrow. Let's see. Adidas says Bitcoin is hitting new highs. Oh yeah, yeah, it was great. Bitcoin has finally broke that 100,000 mark. So I got to remove that off of the chart. So definitely looking good for Bitcoin right now. And we'll look more at that, guys, during the market close. So We'll be back here in basically about 2 hours. About 2 hours. Let's see. Michael says, I came and gave you a list of 14 stocks that we should consider buying. Okay. Did it get, it might have got lost when we had the spammer, but all right. I'll take a look. I'll take a look. Michael, just give me, you know, if you give me the list during the market close, we can look at it a little bit more closely then. This one here, we don't really have access to anything. We're just sitting here. I mean, sure, the computers are behind me, but I can't share them or anything like that. Aditya says, take a look at BCE. It's down. I will definitely do that. And we'll look, once again, guys, come back for the market close. We'll be able to look at a lot of these different things. I can't wait until then. So for now, this one's done. We will also be back again tomorrow on Saturday. We're going to do this all over again. So these are going every day right up till the 24th. So until then, guys, take care. We'll see you guys all again this afternoon. Bye, everybody. There we go.